What if some of the most powerful tools for aging better have been growing around us for thousands of years, and we've simply forgotten about them? Most people think aging is just a matter of genetics and luck, that once the clock starts ticking, there isn't much you can do besides hope for the best. But modern science is beginning to tell a very different story. Researchers now understand that many of the processes associated with aging, things like oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, declining cellular energy, and even brain aging, can be influenced by the choices we make every day. And surprisingly, some of the most fascinating discoveries aren't coming from newly invented supplements. They're coming from ancient plants that have been used for centuries by cultures known for their wisdom and longevity. One of the plants on today's list was so highly valued that ancient healers considered it a gift for long life. Another contains compounds that scientists are still actively studying because of their potential role in healthy aging. And the final plant may completely change the way you think about growing older. If you're interested in simple, science-backed ways to support your body naturally, you're in the right place. And if you enjoy exploring forgotten foods, ancient remedies, and modern longevity research, consider subscribing. Now let's begin with a plant you've probably seen hundreds of times, but almost certainly underestimated. Number 1. Parsley. The everyday herb. Most people completely ignore or walk into almost any restaurant, and you'll probably see parsley sitting quietly on the edge of a plate. Most people treat it as decoration. Some don't even realize it's meant to be eaten, and that's exactly what makes parsley so fascinating. For centuries, this humble herb was valued throughout the Mediterranean not just for flavor, but for health and vitality. Long before modern nutrition existed, people recognized that certain plants seemed to help them stay strong and resilient as they aged. Today, science is helping explain why. Parsley contains a variety of antioxidants and plant compounds that help the body manage oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as the gradual wear and tear that builds up inside your cells over time. It's one of the key processes associated with aging and can affect everything from energy production to brain and heart health. One of parsley's most studied compounds is apigenin. Researchers have explored its potential role in supporting cellular health and helping the body maintain a balanced inflammatory response, two important factors for healthy aging. What makes parsley unique is that it isn't exotic, expensive, or difficult to find. In fact, its greatest strength may be how ordinary it seems. While people search for the latest superfood, they often overlook the simple plants that have been supporting human health for generations. Adding parsley to your routine couldn't be easier. Sprinkle it over salads, soups, eggs, vegetables, or blend it into sauces and smoothies. Small habits repeated consistently often create bigger results than dramatic changes that don't last. Healthy aging rarely comes from a single breakthrough. More often it comes from simple choices made day after day, and parsley is a reminder that sometimes the plants closest to us are the ones we notice the least. But the next plant was treasured for a completely different reason. Ancient scholars believed it could help preserve one of our most valuable assets as we grow older, the mind. Number 2. Rosemary. The ancient memory plant for thousands of years, rosemary has been associated with memory, mental clarity, and vitality. In ancient Greece, students were known to wear rosemary while studying, believing it could help sharpen the mind and improve recall. At the time, that may have sounded like tradition or folklore. Today, science is beginning to uncover why this herb earned such a reputation. Rosemary contains powerful plant compounds, including rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid. Researchers have studied these compounds for their antioxidant properties and their potential role in helping protect cells from oxidative stress, one of the major drivers associated with aging. This is especially important for the brain. Because it uses so much energy, the brain is particularly vulnerable to oxidative damage over time. That's one reason scientists have become increasingly interested in plants that may help support the body's natural defense systems. But rosemary offers something more than science. Its aroma has a remarkable ability to trigger memories and emotions. A single breath can transport you back to a childhood meal, a family gathering, or a moment you thought had been forgotten. It's almost fitting that a plant linked to memory can awaken it so effortlessly. Adding rosemary to your routine is simple. Use it to season vegetables, soups, fish, chicken, or potatoes. You can also enjoy it as a fragrant herbal tea. Of course, rosemary isn't a magic solution for aging, but it represents something important, supporting the systems that help us stay mentally sharp and resilient over time, because a sharper future may begin with a plant that remembers its past. And the next plant may surprise you even more, because most people spend their lives trying to get rid of it. Number 3. Nettle. The wild plant that defends more than you think. Most people see nettle as a weed. Some know it only as the plant that stings when touched. Yet for centuries, nettle was one of the most respected plants in traditional European herbal practices. That's what makes it so surprising. While many people try to remove it from their gardens, generations before us were actively gathering it for food and wellness. They understood something we often forget. Plants that survive harsh conditions frequently develop remarkable nutritional qualities. Nettle is rich in minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, and potassium, along with a variety of antioxidants and beneficial plant compounds. These nutrients help support many of the systems that become increasingly important as we age, including bones, muscles, circulation, and energy production. Researchers have also explored nettle's relationship with inflammation. While inflammation is a natural part of the body's defense system, chronic low-grade inflammation has become one of the most discussed topics in aging research because of its connection to many age-related changes. What makes nettle unique is that it combines traditional wisdom with modern scientific interest. It isn't a trendy discovery. It's a plant that has quietly supported people for generations. Today, nettle is commonly available as tea, powder, capsules, or dried leaves. It can also be added to soups and cooked dishes, where its earthy flavor blends surprisingly well with other ingredients. Perhaps the greatest lesson from nettle isn't about nutrition, it's about perception, because nature often hides its greatest gifts behind the roughest appearance. And the next plant has a history stretching back thousands of years through ancient civilizations and sacred traditions, yet most people have never even heard of it. Number 4. Hyssop, the forgotten biblical herb. Scientists are rediscovering some plants became famous. Others quietly disappeared from public awareness. Hyssop belongs to the second group. Mentioned in ancient texts and used throughout the Mediterranean and Middle East for centuries, hyssop was once considered a valuable herb for purification, recovery, and vitality. Yet today, most people have never heard of it. That's surprising because modern researchers are finding that this ancient plant contains a variety of beneficial compounds, including flavonoids and other antioxidants that help the body combat oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is one of the major forces linked to cellular aging. Think of oxidative stress as tiny amounts of damage accumulating inside the body every day. You can't see it happening, but over years and decades, it can influence how well your cells function. What makes hyssop so fascinating is that it survived thousands of years of human history. Entire civilizations rose and fell while this plant remained part of traditional wellness practices. That alone doesn't prove effectiveness, but it does raise an interesting question. Why did so many cultures continue using it generation after generation? Today, researchers are beginning to explore some of those answers. Hyssop is most commonly consumed as an herbal tea. Its aromatic flavor makes it easy to incorporate into a daily routine, especially during colder months. And perhaps that's the real lesson here. the newest solution isn't always the most valuable one. Sometimes the greatest health secrets weren't lost because they stopped working. They were lost because we stopped looking. But the next plant wasn't forgotten at all. In fact, for centuries it earned a reputation so powerful that people began calling it the fruit of longevity. Number 5, Scysandra, the berry called the fruit of longevity. If there is one plant on this list that sounds almost mythical, it's Scysandra. For centuries, this small red berry has held a special place in traditional Chinese medicine. It became known as the fruit of 5 flavors because it uniquely combines sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and pungent tastes all at once. But its reputation goes far beyond flavor. Historically, Scysandra was prized for endurance, vitality, and resilience. Ancient practitioners believed it helped people maintain strength and balance even during periods of physical and mental stress. Modern science has become interested in Scysandra for many of the same reasons. The berry contains unique compounds called lignans, along with a variety of antioxidants that researchers are studying for their potential role in cellular protection and healthy aging. Scientists are particularly interested in how these compounds may help the body adapt to stress and support normal energy production. That matters because aging isn't only about what happens to our cells, it's also about how well we recover from the challenges of daily life. Some people think longevity is about constantly finding ways to boost energy, but Scysandra points toward a different idea. Maybe the goal isn't becoming more stimulated. Maybe the goal is becoming harder to wear down. Scysandra is commonly consumed as a tea, powder, extract, or dried berry. Its unique flavor can take some getting used to, but many people find it becomes surprisingly enjoyable over time. And the next plant may be even more relevant to modern life because it addresses something millions of people struggle with every single day. Stress. Number 6. Holy basil, the sacred plant that helps the body handle modern stress. Thousands of years ago, long before scientists began studying stress hormones, people in India were already treating one plant with extraordinary respect. That plant was tulsi, also known as holy basil. In many traditions, tulsi wasn't viewed as just another herb. It was considered sacred. Families grew it near their homes, used it in daily rituals, and valued it as a symbol of health, balance, and longevity. Today, modern science is helping explain why this ancient plant earned such a remarkable reputation. Researchers have been studying tulsi for its rich collection of antioxidants and bioactive compounds. Particular attention has been given to its potential role in helping the body respond to physical and emotional stress. Scientists are also exploring its relationship with inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 processes strongly associated with aging. This is important because aging isn't only influenced by what we eat, it's also influenced by how much pressure our bodies endure over time. Chronic stress can affect sleep, energy, immune function, and overall resilience. In many ways, modern life constantly asks our bodies to operate in survival mode, and that's where tulsi becomes especially interesting. Rather than focusing on stimulation, this plant has traditionally been associated with balance, not more energy, not more productivity, but more resilience. Tulsi is commonly consumed as a tea and has a pleasant herbal flavor that makes it easy to enjoy regularly. For many people, the simple ritual of preparing a warm cup becomes part of its value, because sometimes aging isn't happening because of time. Sometimes it's happening because of pressure. And the final plant on our list has fascinated scientists for decades because it touches one of the biggest questions in longevity research. How do we help the body maintain vitality as the years go by? Number 7. Ginseng, the ancient root scientists. Still can't stop studying, few plants have earned the level of respect that ginseng has. For thousands of years it has been treasured throughout Asia as a symbol of vitality, endurance, and healthy aging. Ancient healers often reserved it for people seeking strength, recovery, and long-term wellness. What's remarkable is that modern science remains just as interested in this route today as traditional practitioners were centuries ago. Researchers have identified unique compounds called ginsenosides, which are believed to be responsible for many of ginseng's biological effects. Scientists continue studying how these compounds may support healthy cellular function, cognitive performance, energy metabolism, and the body's ability to adapt to stress. One reason ginseng stands out is that it addresses a concern almost everyone has about aging, not simply living longer, but continuing to feel capable, having energy to move, a clear mind to think, and the resilience to enjoy life. Because for most people, the fear isn't the number of birthdays, it's the gradual loss of vitality that can come with them. Ginseng has become one of the most researched plants in traditional medicine precisely because it speaks to that concern. Today it is commonly consumed as tea, capsules, powders, extracts, and herbal blends. While no plant can stop the aging process, ginseng continues to attract attention because it may help support some of the systems that allow us to age more gracefully. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of all. The secret of aging may not be adding more years to life, but bringing more life to the years you already have. When you step back and look at these 7 ancient plants together, something remarkable begins to appear. The people who came before us may not have understood words like oxidative stress, cellular resilience, inflammation pathways, or energy metabolism. They didn't have microscopes, laboratories, or scientific journals. But they paid attention. They observed which plants seemed to support vitality, which ones helped people remain active longer, which ones were passed from generation to generation because they appeared to make a meaningful difference. Now, modern science is revisiting many of those same plants and discovering something fascinating. While each plant works differently, they often support the same systems that researchers believe play an important role in healthy aging, not by performing miracles, not by stopping time, but by helping the body do what it was designed to do: repair, adapt, protect, and endure. Maybe that's why the most powerful lesson from today's video isn't about a single herb. It's about perspective. For years, we've been taught to look for the next breakthrough, the next supplement, the next miracle solution. Meanwhile, some of the oldest plants on Earth have been quietly waiting for us to remember them. The most powerful longevity secrets were never hidden from humanity. They were simply forgotten. Aging is inevitable, but how we age is influenced by thousands of choices we make along the way. And sometimes those choices begin with something as simple as a plant. So tell me in the comments, which of these ancient plants surprised you the most, and which one would you be willing to try first? If you enjoyed this journey through ancient wisdom and modern science, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more discoveries about longevity, healing plants, and healthy aging. Remember, your future health isn't being built someday. It's being built by what you do today.